Have you ever walked into a crowded room and felt invisible? You try to spark a conversation, maybe throw out a "hey, how's it going?" but the interaction fizzles out before it even begins. It's exhausting, isn't it? Yet in that same room, there's often that one person. They aren't the loudest, they aren't the best dressed, they might not even be the most conventionally attractive, but when they speak, the music seems to fade, heads turn, the air changes. What do they have that you don't? We often mistake charisma for performance. We think we need to be funnier, smarter, or more energetic to be liked. But the ancient Stoics and the modern insights from the channel INVICTUS X teach us that the secret isn't adding more to your personality, it's about stripping away the noise. It's not about talking more, it's about saying less, but meaning it so deeply that people can't help but be drawn to you. I've spent years analyzing social dynamics, and I've realized that in our hyper-connected, noisy world, presence has become the rarest commodity. We are all starving for it. The following 6 phrases aren't just magic spells, they are tools of character that signal you are someone worth knowing.
Number 1. The ego killer. Tell me more about that. We have a default setting in our brains that I call the me filter. When someone tells us a story, our immediate instinct is to scan our own database for a similar experience to share. Someone says, "I just started learning the guitar," and before they can take a breath, we jump in with, "Oh, I played guitar in college. I used to have a Fender Stratocaster." We think we're bonding. In reality, we're hijacking. We've turned a moment of connection into a subtle competition. The spotlight shifts from them to us, and the door to intimacy slammed shut. The phrase, "tell me more about that," is revolutionary because it is an act of surrender. You are stepping back and saying, "I am secure enough in myself that I don't need to be the center of this conversation." I remember sitting at a dinner party recently with a man who was incredibly quiet. When I mentioned I was struggling with a renovation project, he didn't offer advice on contractors. He didn't tell me about his own house. He just looked me in the eye and asked, "Tell me more about that. What's the most frustrating part?" I ended up talking to him for 20 minutes. I left that party thinking he was the most fascinating person there, yet I knew almost nothing about him. That is the paradox. Make others feel interesting, and they will find you fascinating. 2. The confidence of ignorance. I don't know. In the corporate world, and frankly in most social circles, ignorance is treated like a disease. We are terrified of looking stupid. So when asked for an opinion on a topic we don't grasp, be it cryptocurrency, politics, or a complex work issue, we bluff, we use buzzwords, we nod vaguely. But here is the truth. Pretense has a smell. People can sense when you are faking it. The tone rises slightly. The eyes dart away. Trust evaporates instantly. Saying "I don't know" is a power move. It suggests you have nothing to prove. It echoes the wisdom of Socrates, who famously claimed his wisdom lay in knowing he knew nothing. There is a distinct kind of relief that washes over a room when a leader or a friend simply admits they don't have the answer. It creates a truth zone. If you are brave enough to admit what you don't know, I will implicitly trust you when you tell me what you do know. Insecure people need to have an answer for everything. Secure people are comfortable with the mystery. 3. The gift of validation. That sounds hard. When we see someone in pain, a friend going through a breakup, a colleague stressed about a deadline, our fixer instinct kicks in. We want to be the hero. "You should just download this app," or, "Well, at least you still have your health," or, "When that happened to me, I did X, Y, and Z." We mean well, but to the person suffering, this often feels like dismissal. It feels like we are rushing them through their emotions because we are uncomfortable sitting with their pain. That sounds hard. 3 words, no advice, no silver lining, just witness. Marcus Aurelius wrote about being tolerant with others and strict with yourself.
This phrase is the embodiment of that tolerance. You are giving the other person permission to be human, to be messy, and to struggle without needing to defend their feelings. I once had a mentor who never gave me advice unless I explicitly asked for it. When I poured out my frustrations, he would just lean back and say, "That sounds incredibly heavy to carry." In that space of non-judgmental validation, the solutions often came to me on their own. People don't always need a mechanic. Sometimes they just need a witness. 4. The thunder of silence. This is not a phrase, but the canvas upon which all phrases are painted. We live in a society that fears silence. A 3-second pause in a conversation sends panic signals to our brain. Did I say something wrong? Is this awkward? Quick, say something funny. We fill the air with ums, likes, and nervous chatter. But if you watch the most powerful figures in history, or even the most respected person in your office, you will notice they are comfortable with the pause. Silence creates tension, and tension commands attention. When you pause before answering a question, it signals that you are thinking. It signals that your words have value, and you aren't just dispensing them cheaply. Seneca noted that silence is a lesson learned through suffering. It takes discipline to hold your tongue. But when you stop running from the quiet, you stop running from yourself. Next time you are in a conversation and a silence falls, resist the urge to fill it. Look at the person comfortably. Watch how they lean in. Watch how the dynamic shifts. You are no longer dancing for their amusement. You are sharing a moment.
5. Virtue recognition. I appreciate you. Thank you is for transactions. The barista hands you coffee, you say thank you. Someone holds the door, you say thank you. It acknowledges what a person did. I appreciate you acknowledges who a person is. This distinction is vital. We live in a world that values productivity over humanity. We are often treated as units of output. When you look at someone, your spouse, your employee, your child, and say, "I appreciate you," you are piercing through the transactional nature of life. However, this must be sincere. Use it when you see character. When a friend remains loyal when they could have gossiped. When a colleague stays late to help, not for credit, but out of kindness. Recognizing virtue in others is a Stoic practice that reinforces virtue in ourselves. It builds a bond that is unbreakable because it makes the other person feel truly seen. 6. The liberating shield. No. If there is one word that acts as the guardian of your soul, it is no. We say yes out of guilt. We say yes out of FOMO, fear of missing out. We say yes because we want to be liked. But as Epictetus warned, we must learn the meaning of what we say before we speak. Every time you say a hollow yes to something you don't want to do, you are saying a resentful no to your own peace, your own goals, and your own family. The ability to say no calmly, without a 5-minute explanation or apology, is the mark of a free person. It filters your life. It repels the people who only want to use you for your utility, and it attracts the people who respect your time and boundaries. The common thread through all these principles is the removal of the non-essential. INVICTUS X reminds us that attraction isn't about accumulation, it's about subtraction. It's about subtracting the ego, the need to fix, the fear of silence, and the addiction to people-pleasing. When you strip away the performance, what is left? You, an authentic, present, grounded human being. And in a world of plastic masks and rehearsed lines, nothing is more magnetic than reality. So, here is my challenge to you. Don't try to overhaul your entire personality overnight. Pick just one of these phrases. Maybe today you practice the pause. Maybe tomorrow you replace a thank you with an I appreciate you. Watch the eyes of the people you interact with. You'll see a shift. You'll see them come alive.
If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 6 habits is the hardest for you to implement? Is it the silence? The no? Let's discuss it in the comments below. Sharing your struggle is the first step to mastering it. For more insights on building a resilient mind and mastering the art of living, make sure to check out the channel INVICTUS X.